Excuse me. One of the parents just asked if they can watch it on Zoom.
Okay, I've been told that we are back up, so. We're testing it one more time on our end.
Do we have to go back and restart?
Just to give you the heads up, I just received a picture text from my wife showing me that says this video has been removed for violating YouTube's terms of service. I don't know what that means, but maybe that's what they were getting at the initial start of it.
Yeah, it's showing live right here. Showing live.
Okay, it appears to be running. So I guess we're gonna move forward if we have anybody that texts your.
I can't hear Scott too well again. It's like his microphone's not on. I'm hearing someone else's.
Okay, how's that? Can everybody hear now? Change computers. I see some head shaking.
Yes.
Think we're good to go. All right, we'll do a little shared of computer here, I guess, but we'll get through this. All right, you guys heard, you got the resolution regarding class rank and grading, and you had opportunity to read that. You've heard Dr. Whitus's reasoning behind it. Anybody have any questions regarding the resolution about grading and class rank? Any questions? No one. I see a few heads shaking. Let the minutes reflect that Gail Neeson did join us a few minutes ago. So if we'd like to pass that resolution, I will need a motion to that effect. Would anybody like to make that? What's the will of the group?
This is Carter. I make a motion of the resolution of the Board of Trustees regarding grading and class rank policies during the periods of the COVID-19 school closure, and granting the superintendent certain authority relating to grading and class rank.
All right, there's been a motion made by Carter. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Nathan seconds the motion. Is there any further discussion? There being none, I'm going to go kind of down the list. Carter, how do you vote on that?
Aye.
Andrea, how do you vote?
Aye.
Nathan,
Aye.
Shane,
Aye.
Donna,
Aye.
and Gail. Gail's muted. She may not be able to do it. And I will vote for that resolution also. So at this point, we have 6, 4, and 1 abstention. All right. We're going to go on to item number 5, contracts for Chapter 21 administrators, principals, and directors. You should have that information in your packet. Pages 8 and 9 in your packet. Those will be regarding a probationary 1-year contract for, and do it as a group?
Unless somebody wants to pull one. It's all year-round administrators, 12-month administrators.
Okay, these are all our year-round administrators and the athletic director. Does everybody see that? We should list them so it gets on record. All right, you see that group, the administrators, offer them another 12-month contract, 5 a term contract, and 1 probationary.
I'll make a motion that we accept the 5 and the 1-term contracts as shown on the list as presented in our packets.
All right, that motion was made by Carter. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, Andrea seconds the motion to offer the 5 administrators term contracts for 1 year and 1 a probationary contract subject to the assignment of the superintendent. That's the motion. And now we'll vote. Carter, how do you vote?
Aye.
All right, Andrea,
Aye.
Nathan,
Aye.
Shane,
Aye.
Donna.
And there have been requests to repeat the first part of the meeting. Can we do that?
Possibly. Yeah, we have just, yeah, we did not do public comment yet. So really all we have to go back and redo is the portion about the coronavirus, the response. So yeah, we can do that. That'll be fine. Andrea, you voted. Donna, you voted. Gail. Gail's still abstaining. And I'll vote for that. So that's a 6-1 abstention. That motion passes. All right, now let's go to item 5 regarding, no, item 6, I'm sorry, regarding board training for SB 1566.
Well, we worked on this previously and had options, had agreed to a date that seemed to work for everyone. And now we are back to a new way of receiving the training. The timeline has been extended just a little bit, but in your packet, I included information of 4 upcoming dates. It's on page 11. It would be a Zoom session, very similar to what we're participating in right now. So I did not know if either next Monday, next Wednesday, Tuesday the 28th, or Thursday, April the 30th would work. You can see that they are a 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. session. This fulfills our Senate Bill 1566 training requirement that we have talked about for quite a while. And so I wanted to present that to you and see what your pleasure was with regard to fulfilling that requirement in our new training environment.
Does this have to be done as a group or can it be done individually?
We already have our team building, so I think we could do it individually. Since it's being different locations, I just need to know when you want to and when you're available and to get you signed up and get you taken care of. So if you will look at that and let me know, it gives you 4 options, like I said, starting next Monday night or the following week. So if you'll look at that and let me know, that would be great. Okay. Any questions about Senate Bill 1566? All right.
Nope.
Thank you.
Okay, if you guys can get back to Dr. Whitus on one of those times that you might want to try to do that on your own, that would be wonderful. Since we had some technical difficulties, we'll just run back up and touch up. We did go through and establish a quorum, and that all the trustees except Gail Neeson were here when we started, and Gail chimed in a few minutes later. So we did establish our quorum. We did not do public testimony yet. We're about to go back and do that. Go back and just give you the little bit of response that we had for the over the COVID-19. Let me find my paperwork here again. I think it's over there. All right, if somebody didn't hear the response I started with, was the board wants to thank all our staff, parents, and students for their dedication, hard work, support, and efforts in recreating education during the pandemic. Countless hours by our educators in turning our classrooms virtual and cleaning our campuses to maintain a healthy environment, and each little effort together has transformed our system in literally less than a month. We thank our parents for their patience and support our students for their understanding, as it takes everyone's cooperation and patience as we move forward during these difficult times. London ISD is undergoing many changes. For several years, our elementary school has made disappointing progress toward reaching and achieving the success we all expect of our campuses. While our other campus has achieved praise and successful ratings from the state, our elementary has been disappointing. This last year, receiving an F from the state for relative performance. Some believe that some of these changes should have been made sooner, but hindsight is always 20/20. The time has come, and there will be a leadership change at our elementary school for the 2021 school year. In February, we were notified by our elementary principal, Jessica Gutierrez, that she would be leaving us at the end of the 19 and 20 school year. While it is unfortunate that this message is just now become public over the last few days, the delay was due in part for the inability for her to be able to get her elementary staff together so that she'd be the first to hear from her the announcement directly from their principal. In part to permit the campus to focus on education and preparing for the pandemic, it was difficult to do that. This change is in the best interest of London ISD, and we wish Ms. Gutierrez great success in her future endeavors. As we look forward to the delays that come when we look back and marvel at our success in reconstructing our system and providing online education and maintain the quality expected of London ISD. These days may be difficult for our community, our nation, and for the world as well. Times are frustrating, and we recognize it is especially difficult for our children to cope with these times. But together, we can overcome these obstacles as a community. We know brighter times are ahead of us. Keep a positive outlook, and let's continue to make London the best district in Texas. And Dr. Whitus has a few more comments regarding the COVID-19.
I just wanted to go back and recap and just the phenomenal job that has happened. And certainly on March the 13th, when we had to dismiss school and move to online learning, it happened very, very rapidly. And I can't say enough about our staff, our students, our parents, everyone stepping up and partnering to make it a success. And you know, there's bumps along the way and anything like this, but I think everyone has done just a phenomenal job, and it's in the best interest of our kids. And so as we take a little bit of a breather this week, because it would have been our intersession week, we are focused on the possibility of staff returning on May the 4th, students and staff starting back on May the 5th. Certainly, I don't know that or have a crystal ball that that's going to happen, but our conversation needs to shift on creating a healthy environments, procedures, you know, just really thinking differently in light of what we've been faced with and leading in that regard. One thing we have learned is our state agencies, different entities that we partner with, many of them are 2 to 3+ weeks behind. And so we need to put our heads together, use the expertise that we have on our own staff, as well as parents, other people out there, and create some protocols that are very clear of how we will handle some things. And it's everything from if a child comes to school sick or a staff member, anything like that, you know, what are we doing to keep everyone in London safe? So we will be working on that, ready for our focus to shift on the positive things and possibly finishing the school year and then quickly turning around to see what July looks like. And so present that to you. And if someone has some thoughts or some suggestions or resources, I want to be a leader in that as far as a district and really create some things that work well for us. So that's what we're going to focus on next.
All right, thank you, Dr. Whitus. That should catch everyone up on what they missed when we had a little technical difficulty there. The next item on the agenda is to move to the public comment portion. Normally, it's just written down in front of us there and folks sign up at our regular meetings, but this being kind of an awkward meeting, we did it a little, had to do it a little different. We did it following the law and the rules the governor and the attorney general put down for us to use. So we'll go forth and allow your public comment at this time. I want to make sure you understand that the board will now hear public comments from those persons who have signed up to speak. This portion of the meeting is set aside for parents, students, and the community members to speak to the board about any matter of interest to them pertaining to the school program. Each person may speak for no more than 3 minutes. During this part of the meeting, the board will listen, but will not engage in dialogue or debate with the speakers. The board reserves the right to move this comment period to any item on the agenda or even toward the end of the meeting, which is kind of what we've done. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due respect and dignity and privacy for others that may be affected by their comments. While it is not the board's intent to stifle public comment, speakers should be aware that if their statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, the speaker may be held legally liable. If any speaker is unaware of the legal ramifications of their comments he or she wishes to make, then they need to consult their attorney first. The board reminds speakers that public comment is not time or place to bring board complaints about a particular program or particular employee. The board has adopted specific complaint policies and specific procedures for presenting those complaints. Those policies require your complaint to be in writing, and you seek an administrative to try to get an administrative conference and hopefully settle it there. And at that time, if that's not doesn't happen, you can request for an item to be put on the board agenda at future meeting. The board expects all members of the audience to behave in a polite and orderly fashion during this time and all other portions of the meeting. Disruptive contact will not be tolerated. That's generally written before you whenever we put agendas out. That was posted. Since we're doing this as a call-in ceremony, we each had the opportunity to call in before 3:30 today. That was the time that was posted and set in. And our secretary, Torno, took those calls, and I have the list here that he received. And so I'll call you individually. I'll do the best I can to get this patched in where everybody can hear you, and we'll go from there. So bear with me. We're going to call the first one on the list is Holly Salazar. So I'm going to call Holly now and see if we can get her on the line. Hello, Ms. Salazar, Ms. Scott Frazier. It's your turn to speak if you'd like to in public comment. So I think we have you up and ready to hear you.
Okay.
I see we have a little delay.
Yes. I am here.
Go for it.
And okay. I'm trying to go for it.
Salazar, Scott Frazier, it's your turn to speak if you'd like to in public comment. So I think we have you up and ready to hear you. We're going to call the first one.
I'm having a little technical difficulties.
How about now?
Okay, I am here. Okay, I just wanted to start on a personal level. I would like to start by saying thank you to Dr. Whitus and the board for ensuring LISD staff continues to get paid during the school closure. Your efforts to safeguard staff from financial hardship has not gone unnoticed. I would also like to thank you on a professional level. Public education is more than just the opportunity to learn basic math, science, English, and history. It's not just an academic platform, but a platform for all students to reach their potential regardless of where it may lie. Dr. Whitus and members of the board, you have made it a priority to reach all students through your continued support of programs such as our peer mentors and the Pirate Store. You have shown your dedication in advancing opportunities for all students. Thank you for continuing to promote and encourage an inclusive educational environment which reflects your advocacy for all students. Dr. Whitus, I would like to thank you for embracing and building on our tradition of expanding our students' skill set, utilizing new programs and campus opportunities. Your recognition of our students' capabilities and your inclusive mindset has enriched their learning environment and encouraged others to follow your lead. I would like to close with this last thought. We do not usually think of school board members as school volunteers, but they do in fact volunteer to serve. Being an effective school board member is no easy task, particularly in today's climate of change and challenge. Very few people fully understand the scope and far-reaching implications of board members' responsibilities, and too often we neglect to recognize the dedication and hard work of these men and women. You put students first, lead with compassion and humility, and build the capacity of our school system to ensure we provide precisely what our students need. I've been with the district for 7 years, and I've witnessed this dedication, and I want to thank you for it. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Salazar. Appreciate that. We're going to go on to the next person that wanted to call in. And that would be there. I do caution folks, there is a delay on the feed. So if you are listening on your computer, you may want to turn down your volume because we realized on this first call that we overlapped each other a little bit there and fell behind. So I think it'd go a little smoother if you mute your volume or turn it down some whenever we call you. I'm going to call the next one up. Wants to talk about district change and improvements. Greg Spivey. I'll see if I can get Mr. Spivey on the phone now. Thank you. Says it's trying to go through. Let me try that again. It should have hooked up by now. There we go.
Thank you for calling me.
Hello, Mr. Spivey. It's Scott Frazier, and it's your turn to speak in public comment, sir.
All right, thank you. I'd first like to thank the school board for allowing me to speak this evening. My name is Greg Spivey, and I'm an 8th grader at the middle school who has attended London ISD for nearly 7 years. As a parent of a student who has made his way through the elementary and middle school and will soon be heading to the high school next year, I've spent many years watching London ISD grow, but not really change. With the incredible growth the district has seen in the past years and the projected growth in the upcoming years, I'm so pleased to see both a superintendent and a school board who are eager to change the way things have been done to ensure our district remains one of the most reputable in the area. As an attorney, many of my clients are eager to have their own children attend London ISD because of its reputation, and it's so important that we continue to make changes and not continue this idea of business as usual. And with the outbreak of the COVID-19 and the need to move online learning, I had so many questions and wondered how this could possibly be done. I must say your district team has rolled everything out in a very clear format. Teachers were very helpful, and the website is giving great information. And since my son had already been using Google Classroom, The transition for him has been seamless. He has been actively working on his online curriculum for the past 3 weeks. And we have friends in the Austin ISD area who just began online schooling a week ago. The superintendent and administration have done a phenomenal job with getting the system rolled out to keep our kids engaged and learning. London's goal to focus on education and student growth is apparent, and I'm loving the changes that I am seeing under the new administration. It's also wonderful to see new faces to the campuses who are bringing new and innovative ideas. I hope under Dr. Whitus' direction and with the support of the school board, the district can continue to raise the bar in student learning and build alignment among the campuses so that students will have a consistent education from pre-K through 12th grade. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Spivey. All right, we'll move on to Bertha Redner. I'll see if I can get a hold of Mrs. Redner now.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Redner. This is Scott Fraser with London ISD. Your turn to speak in public comment.
Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry. So basically, I wanted to speak today as a teacher at London. I wanted to acknowledge the progressive direction that I feel that LISD is headed under the supervision of Dr. Whitus and the school board. From the moment that I met Dr. Whitus, I knew she was going to have a positive impact here at London. She first asked me to introduce her to my student council, and she sat and talked with them about the things they wanted to see done at the high school. When she left, all they could do was rave about how receptive she was to their ideas. And she only solidified that with the creation of her student advisory board. She allows the students to take part in their learning experience by giving them a voice and showing them that there is someone listening. I would like to further comment that in these trying times, she has assisted the teachers by adding to our team of professionals with an instructional technologist and a curriculum coordinator who have proven very useful as we have all had to transition to an online learning environment that many of us are not familiar with. I look forward to working together with these women, as well as other teachers, to create a vertically aligned curriculum that will help improve learning at the very base of our foundation, ensuring success all the way from elementary through high school. And I know that with the full support of the school board and Dr. Whitus, London will continue to make strides to becoming the #1 school in the state of Texas. And that's kind of all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
Okay, we're going to move on and call Kara Fines. Kara wants to talk the need for a town hall or public forum. Let me see if I can get Miss Fines on the line here. Hello, Miss Fines. This is Scott Fraser. It's your turn to speak in public comment.
Perfect. I feel like it is important in this time of transition to ensure that the board, the administration, and the parents are aligned to the priorities for the future leadership of the primary, as well as to align the parents and the administration to the overall vision for London ISD moving forward. More than 180 London parents have completed a survey that represents our viewpoints and priorities as parents. I think you will all find this information valuable. I requested this matter as an agenda item on this board meeting, but a board member decided it was more appropriate to discuss in a town hall environment. Therefore, I am formally requesting a town hall meeting. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Miss Fines. Appreciate you so much. That's the 4 folks that called to speak in public comment. So that will end the public comment portion of the meeting. We'll move back over to the agenda, and I think about the only thing left on there was future meeting and agenda items. Does any board member have a future meeting or agenda item you wish to discuss? I don't see anybody saying too much. A few heads shaking no. It's been pretty quiet. Dr. Whitus, do you have any few things to share? All right.
I appreciate everyone dealing with the technology and the bumps tonight. We certainly have a new appreciation for what our kiddos and teachers are doing. And so we'll see what the future holds. I'd like for you to look at your calendars, and we have some upcoming things that have some timelines. And so if you could look at your calendar and see if Monday, May the 4th, if you have any conflicts, I'll send you a reminder in that regard. So if you could look and see, because we do have some timelines that we are up against. And so 2 things, Senate Bill 1566 training, and then May the 4th. And I'll put that in your update this week as reminders so that you have that in writing.
All right. Does any other member have any other comment, future agenda item? Please look at your calendars for May 4th. I want to say thank you so much for all of you putting up with our technical learning curve here we're working on. Some folks definitely much smarter than I am on techie stuff got this up and running, or otherwise we'd be sitting here looking at each other to blank screens, because I have no idea how to put all this together personally. So I want to thank everybody that took part in putting that together and making it run as smooth as it did. We had minor glitches, but I think we're learning. We'll get better if we have to do this again. I hope we get past this and don't have to do it again, but I appreciate everybody's willingness and cooperation and eagerness to watch and learn and be part of this. So with that, if is there a motion to adjourn?
I
Anyone?
will so move that we adjourn.
All right, I have a motion from Carter to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Andrea seconds. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor, we will say, Carter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Andrea,
Aye.
Nathan,
Aye.
Shane,
Aye.
Donna,
Aye.
Gail. We wish Gail well that she, with the birth of a new grandchild.
Yes.
We're voting to adjourn. Gail, are you all for that? I think she said yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll say
Yes.
yes to that. So it's 7-0. So with that, the motion carries and we are adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.